Hi, congratulations. You're following the series, and this is part one where we're going to look at pillar one infrastructure systems, SDs, and security. Come on, let's dive in. So, infrastructure systems, SDs, and security. Now, the analogy we're using for pillar one is plumbing. So, it is the hidden plumbing of digital health. Now, where does your click go? When you click something on a digital app, or when you click something when you go to the GP, where does your click go? That's what we're going to be explaining today. Now, your click doesn't just get your data, it actually goes through a long-winded journey in the digital background. So it goes through a series of pipes. Remember, we're using plumbing, pipes, reservoirs, vaults, guardhouses that you actually never see. Now, this is the secret plumbing of the digital world. And when it works, you don't even think about it at all. But when it doesn't work, you know that something is wrong. Now, we're going to follow that click today. The key points we're going to follow, or the key points we're going to cover, like I said, the analogy, the click's journey, where does the click go? 2, we're going to look at the pipes and reservoirs, which explains your networks, which is your Wi-Fi and broadband, data centers, and we use the utilities analogy. Now, we're going to also look at the secure vault, the guardhouse, which is your STE and cybersecurity. We'll also look at the national infrastructure. So I'll introduce you to platforms like Spine, the NHS app, and we're going to refer to them as the postal service, your Royal Mail, and the citizens' front door, your own front door. And I'm going to explain why all of this matters. Now, the hidden plumbing of digital health, this should actually have been pipes, but imagine they are pipes. Or we'll talk about the pipes, reservoir, networks, and data center. So our first challenge is to understand where our click goes. Remember the analogy we're using. So networks are like pipes. They are the broadband, your fiber optic cables under the street, your cables in the wall, the Wi-Fi in the air. Their main job is to carry signals and take that data to where it is needed. So when you click something, it's meant to respond to you, and that's the job of the networks. Now, think of pressure in your house, your water pipes. When someone is showering in, let's say, the upstairs bathroom, the people downstairs kind of feel slow pressure. Now, imagine in a hospital where hundreds of devices, people are all streaming, clicking, uploading. The network is under immense pressure. So a slow network isn't just a hiccup or someone's fault. It's actually traffic jam or critical information, because a lot of things are happening at the same time. Now, imagine a surgeon is trying to load a high resolution 3D scan. The pipes need to be wide enough to accommodate that. That's why when your hospital moves to upgrade their Wi-Fi, it's not a small project. It's often massive. It's a physical engineering project. It's not about resetting, the router. Now we're going to look at the data center. This is how typically the machines in data center look like. So this is where your physical servers live. It's a controlled environment, massive cooling, backup power, and multiple internet connections. So your click travels miles. So from the networks, it travels to the data center and back in split seconds. So your click has traveled, right, from the pipes to the reservoir, which is the data center, and it needs to look for the water to bring to you. That's the information to bring to you. Now, this is where we now get to the SD and the cybersecurity part. So in the past, different hospital departments may have had their own safes, their own systems that didn't talk to each other, but the SD, it's a giant unified vault with very strict rules. So when you click, your click is authenticated. Your click is authenticated, and it can request data from a specific box so that you don't get another person's test results or another person's information. Now, the lab system can put data in, and the word system can take data out. So they're doing the right thing for the right person. Well, the vault is nothing if it doesn't have guards, and this is where I need to explain cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is not just getting the right password. Its job is to check the credentials of the gate. So your login security, it needs to go through the networks to make sure it's monitoring the right things. It needs to train individuals not to let strangers come in. So that's where we have PCM, phishing. I don't know if I pronounced it right. Phishing training, and it stands to repel attacks. But what if your clinic needs information that is very far? So it's not within that same hospital, it's another hospital, is in a GP, and it needs to travel a long mile. Now, this is where we have the post office, the spine, the front office, the front door, which is the NHS app. Now, this is where a set of core services that allow different parts of the NHS safely exchange information. So when your hospital needs to tell your GP about your discharge, it often goes through the spine. And if you're in the healthcare industry, you know what the spine is. It's not actually someone's spine. It's the name of a software called Spine. And it provides key services like your personal demographic service, the national address book for patients, ensuring that your data actually gets the right address. Now, to bring it back to us, our front door, as the NHS is trying to implement, is the NHS app. So the NHS app is the first place you go to if you want to get that information, and if you're not a doctor, you're a clinician. And it's not a standalone app. It's a portal, so you can see various things, but it connects to other things. Now, let me explain to you the roles within all of this. So we have the networks and the data center. This is more, you see more technical roles around here. So you have network engineer, data center engineer, infrastructure engineer. This is more the technical part. Here too, you also have technical people here. You have your cyber security analyst, your security analyst. Then you also have people like information governance to make sure the right information goes out and is looked at by the right person. Then for your spine and NHS app, this is for people that are more like in between. So people that can develop apps, people that can develop interface, because remember the NHS app is a front facing app. So it needs to feel easy to use. The user interface, the user experience needs to be good so that people can get the information right and they don't have to struggle. So when you think about this plumbing system, these are the roles you'll find within them. Now, why is infrastructure in digital important? Now, it's not just doing tech for tech's sake, because if you have strong pipes, remember the network, you get your faster diagnosis because the pipes are big, they're wide, so information flows faster. Now, if you have reliable reservoirs, which is your data center, that means your system is always on 24/7. You can always get your data, even though the power cuts. Remember, they have big generators and they have big things that are powering them. You always have your information. That's the power of having good data centers as part of your infrastructure. Now, a unified vault, is the SDE, means that your A&E doctor knows the medication you are on, and that's because your GP has updated it properly yesterday. So if you're in distress and you're not responsive, if they check your records, thanks to the help of SDE, they can see that record immediately. Now, a vigilant guardhouse, which is your cybersecurity, means that your information is safe from criminals or malicious people. And finally, if you have an efficient national post office, the spine, it means that care is continuous, it's not fragmented wherever you are in the country. We can find your information, we can find your data, and we can send that data to you correctly. Now, that is the key importance of having infrastructure. Remember, infrastructure is the foundation of digital digital health, and is really, really important to understanding it. And like I said, if we go back, we have technical roles here, and a mix of both within the pillar infrastructure. So thank you again for watching. I will see you in the next video which will be looking at data. Remember, get educated and stay educated.